beautiful song reminds me that there is truly a new norm being established in the world. Many of us, how many of you think that this truly is the darkest time in history? Yeah, I know. Some of us do, because the veil's pretty thin and we're feeling things a lot. But history has been pretty dark. And so it's not that really this is the darkest time, it's just that our faith has been shaken so deeply. It's a call for us to really expand our faith in what is real and true and right, and have the power to live it. We can know something, but in order to really make it happen, we have to have the willingness and the power to step in our truth and live it and express it. And that new norm that is being established is a norm of compassion, a norm of connection, and a norm of love. And that's what's the healing energy that's going on right now. But we see this great diversity of what's happening in our world, and it's separating us so we can be stronger, know more, and make a better choice in the world right now. And at this time that's the winter solstice, when it's the darkest time of the year, it doesn't mean the sun has been extinguished. It means we're just not in alignment right now with the sun. And it's an invitation for all of us to stop looking outward for the light and to get in alignment with that light that is within each and every one of us and let it shine. Because we are here to be the light and shine the light. I believe that's our great purpose here on earth. And this is a huge time for us to be reminded to do just that. I think it helps if we go back and look at some of the creation stories. If we could look at the stories of why we're here. Isn't that the big question for all the philosophers and many of us? Why are we here? What's the purpose of life? We've all been through those stages where we really wonder, what's this all about? Well, in the African tribes, Central African tribe of the Broshanga tribe, they have a creation myth. And we have a visual on this too. And they say in the beginning, there was only darkness. Only darkness. Water, and the great god Boomba. And that's Boomba. And they said, Boomba, couldn't see anything because it's all dark. Boomba got a great stomach ache. Oh, it hurt really badly. And he vomited up the sun. What's the first thing? And then there was? He vomited up the sun, and there was the sun, there was the light, and it was so bright the sun soaked up some of the water, and then there was land. But Boomba still had a stomach ache, still hurt. And then he vomited up the moon and the stars and animals. There were the leopards and the crocodiles and the turtles, and then man. But first, there was light. Everything started from that light. Beautiful creation story. And if we look at some of the modern scientists today, this was all creation that came from being at one with nature and the land and really a download. Well, the scientists, the physicists, are proving the same things mathematically. I don't know all this scientific stuff, so I referred to our in-house theologian and scientist, Dr. Jim, and he enlightened me on much of this, which is beautiful. But these astrophysicists are saying also that in the beginning there was no visible light, only total darkness. Just like Boomba, total darkness. But they've expanded it a bit further. Instead of Boomba's stomach, they talk about a black hole which contains everything, all matter contained in a black hole that just held everything. Now you can imagine what astronomers and astrologists are saying right now is that in this huge universe there are billions of galaxies, each having billions of stars, and most of the stars having planets. Can you imagine how big that is, how much mass that is, and how heavy that is? Well, all of that was contained in this black hole because the gravity was so strong, the pull was so strong of this black, it pulled everything into it. But everything was broken down to its smallest pieces, and they say that the size of that black hole was about the size of a marble. Heavy. and it was very hot. Very hot. So again, there was a time when this little marble got so hot that it exploded. It was the Big Bang. Boom! You can imagine how loud that was. The Big Bang. And the first thing that came out were the photons, the pieces of light. The first thing was the light. See, Boomba was right. The first thing that came out was the light. And that's what we're all created from and of. Now, the interesting thing is most of these astrophysicists are atheists, and they don't believe in the spiritual part that we know. This is the part we add. You see, they would say all the miracles that Jesus performed, healing the sick, raising the dead, turning water into wine, and Moses parting the Red Sea. That could never happen. We know better because we believe in miracles. And actually, Moses was known as the first earliest writer of the Hebrew Bible. And so the very first chapter of the Hebrew Bible, Genesis, you know how it goes. We all know how it goes. It said, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God said, and noticed that the light was good. And that's what we know. So you can see when you weave all of these stories of creation together from all these different angles and avenues, it's all the same thing. You and I are born from light. Light is all there is. It's our divine inheritance that we are the light. Now, I see a little problem here is that we are the candle of God. Just imagine that. We are the way God shines its light. God, whatever you call it, infinite intelligence, creative potential, whatever it is, we're the way we shine the light in the world. Yet you and I have the free will to obscure that light. We can't extinguish it. It's always there, that divine spark. And every single one of us is given exactly the same amount of light. It's all a little unique, but we're given the same light. There aren't some people that have more light than others. It's just some of us receive it and share it more openly. We all have the same light. So what happens? Why do we obscure the light that we are? Well, Mary, that beautiful reading said it so perfectly. When we get these limiting mental habits of unworthiness or not being good enough, or there's only so much good to go around, do you know what I mean? Those things, they get kind of coagulated into these big thought forms that obscure the light. Just a little test. How many of you have said there's not enough time today? Already. 'Tis the time of year. Do you know, I got the greatest gift. I really did. It was like the greatest Christmas gift I could get. I have been thinking that Christmas Eve was Wednesday night. And I'm like, I kept saying, no, you don't teach that. You have to be in peace. But how am I going to get done? And then I just found out it was Thursday. I got a whole day. Oh, yay! Anyway, so there's not enough. So I'm not saying there's not enough as much as I was a few days ago. And how many of you just today have put yourself down for not being good enough, for not having enough, or not thinking a kind thought, or doing something that wasn't, spiritual? Nobody put themselves down today. Baloney. Because we do that. We get caught in these human patterns. And the whole idea is we put ourselves down and we extinguish that candle that we are. And you and I need to be remembering, how do we get ourselves back in alignment with the whole? We are an extension of the whole. Are we living that way? Are we in alignment with it? Are we aligned with the good that we are, with the light that we are? Remembering the words of all the great teachers, including Boomba. All the teachers are here telling us that the light is ours to share and give. Now, if you look back in history, the mystics got it. The mystics from every faith, it's said they saw the cosmic light. And the cosmic light, like the cosmic consciousness, the Christ consciousness, is when our consciousness unifies with the whole. When we recognize that we're not on this path alone. when we recognize that we're all connected. The mystics knew this. Now, we're at a time in the world where mystics aren't just to be scattered here and there and be saints. We're all traveling the mountain, that spiritual journey up to the top, which is that mystical view. You see, when we're traveling, we're beginning spiritual travelers, we're going around this mountain of learning, there are peaks in the mountain that obscure the light. And that's when we start saying, oh, there is no light. The light's gone. It's all darkness. There's not enough. And we get confused. But as we keep traveling, because we know how to ignite our awareness and know a greater truth. Ernest Holmes said the kingdom of heaven is not attained by observation. That's living, looking on the outside. It's attained by experience. It's what we know inside. That's how we attain the light. So we keep learning that and going up the mountain until we reach a place where the light isn't obscured, where we live in that place of oneness and light. And if you notice the saints, Jesus and Moses and the saints, they usually have a halo of light above their head. And it means they've reached that place of attainment, illumination, where they know light is all there is. Now I want you to imagine if there's a room full of people that are that feel separate and they're just alone and they've got a lot of work to do. You know those people. And so in this room, there's not just dim light, and everybody's doing their own thing. And they're not aware of the other people in the room. Not aware. And then all of a sudden, the light is switched on. The whole room's illuminated, and the people see everybody there, and they go, oh my gosh, we're not alone. We are not alone. But then the light goes off again. And they try to explain that experience. It's pretty tough, isn't it? Every mystic that has seen the light has been transformed. The people in that room that were illumined were transformed. But I want you to imagine what would happen in that room if one person decided that they were going to ignite their light. Because what we know is when we have the faith to stand up in our power, to let our light shine. Because when Mary said that beautiful reading, when our wings come in and we get small, we can't shine the light. But when we have the courage to stand in our power and ignite that spark and let it illumine, if one person in that room had that power, that courage, they would light the light for someone else to see the way and light their light. Oh, and for someone else to see the way. And pretty soon the whole room would be illuminated and the light wouldn't go out. And I believe that's what we're doing right here. We have the opportunity to have the courage and power to be the light for ourselves and then to share that light with others. We know that we can't get what we don't give away. Can't do that. We have to be, it's the reciprocal law of the universe. We have to be willing to give and share in order for us to receive. We have to be willing to give and share of our light so we can know a greater truth. I believe that's our call to action, is that we accept that divine inheritance within, that divine spark that is our truth. And that comes when we let go of the mental patterns that keep us stuck. And that begins with awareness. What is a mental habit you have that limits yourself, limits the world, limits others, that keeps you from standing in your full light and power? Because awareness is the first step, and then doing the practices that keep us strong. The light is always stronger than the darkness, so letting those old thought patterns melt and creating new patterns that keep us aligned with our good and aligned with the light. We can read. We can pray. Ernest Holmes said, if we could see and visualize a spiritual mind treatment, we would see a stream of light. Because what a prayer does is it melts those old thought patterns and habits and steps up and aligns our consciousness with a greater good, a greater possibility, a greater wholeness. Wow. So we're going to end with a prayer today. But I want you to just remember that this time of year, this time of winter solstice, is a time for us to really take time to go within and set our intention for our life. It may be for a single day, if that's all you can do right now. It may be for a week. It may be for a whole new path in life. It doesn't matter, but it's a time to set our intention and create a ritual of prayer, meditation, things you can do to really accentuate the light within. We are creating a new world. This time isn't any darker. The veil is just thinner. So we feel more. The veil is thinner because technology, we're all one. But we have to go from a technological world to a touching, caring, connected world. That's what our world is crying out for. And this is the time for us to do it. So I'm going to start right now by simply inviting you, and Kirk, if you'd give us some music, to just put your feet on the floor, unravel yourselves. And I'm going to simply invite you to remember right now, simply remember your divine inheritance, going back to all the stories of creation, whether they're in math or ancient myths, or they're in new thought, just all the stories that say, and then there were light. Then there was light, and there's light within us right now. Tap into that divine spark. The truth that is so much better and brighter than any darkness that we may feel. Let go of any of the illusions that we've accepted of being unworthy or not enough that comes from our observations in the outer world, and ignite the truth that we are magnificently made right here, right now. That everything about us is perfectly imperfect in this human existence, and we are perfect spiritual beings having this human experience, and what a gift it is. And just recognizing right now, as we let this light that is love, that is truth, that is joy, be like an elixir within us. Because light and love, which are synonymous for God, are the healing energies in this world. Light and love, divinity, goodness, truth, joy. Just let those words permeate and activate your being. Knowing this is the time for each and every one of us to have our own big bang, for us to explode out of our old, limited belief systems into something new, into a new consciousness of oneness, of honoring diversity and goodness, of seeing truth beyond the darkness that may be appearing in the moment, knowing there is a goodness that wants to be seen and revealed. So just letting that light that is love, that is God, that is an elixir of healing goodness, just warm our being, just warm us till we melt into that truth, to the vibration of light. Light always extinguishes the darkness. Light is the love that is God, divinity, goodness. It is that truth that we have within us right now. And as we accept this power that is inherent within us, as we accept this power and give ourselves the freedom to shine brightly, I just invite us to have that big bang and explode outward and fill this room, this sanctuary right now, with the light that we are, and knowing that as we combine this light together, we absolutely recognize our oneness. We absolutely recognize that we are on this journey together. And we know that as we come together as a community, just as that single person in that room having the courage to shine their light, help light that whole room, we have the possibility right now. We have the possibility in this moment to be the light that causes this new awakening, this new possibility in the world, the new norm, to be lived and seen, to truly be the light that heals. So our grown-up Christmas list is a list of actuality, is a list of truth, and a list of out-picturing of what we already know is the calling we are called to step into and be. And so in this moment, as we are here together, making ourselves available to be a greater truth, choosing to live from the experience within, not the observations without, that we right now make ourselves available to the goodness that's already there, the happiness, the joy, the abundance, the peace, the beauty that's already within us. And just say right now, in this moment within yourself, just say, oh, I am love. I am love. Just say it. I am love. And then just allow life to show you all the places that love is yours to experience. And just in this moment, as we're here together, just say, no matter what the observations of the physical world might be, just, I am beauty. Say it. And let the world show you all the places you can share and be the beautiful being that you are. Oh, and I am healthy. Just say it. And no matter where you have felt any of that lack of ease in your life, just know as we speak the word in the power of the light, as we speak the word in the power of the light of goodness and truth, I am healthy, that we see all the ways that health is ours right now. And lastly, we just say, I am abundant. Oh, and as you let yourself vibrate with that truth that we live in an abundant world, that the universe is always there giving and giving and giving. The world is giving us all we need every moment. As we accept that abundance that we already are, we just know and accept all the ways we see abundance coming to us and the ways we get to give love, give light, give health, give abundance, give peace, give harmony, and shed that truth that we already are. And just see yourself right now as the candle of divine light. The candle of divine light. And see that we are all on the altar right now, lighting not only ourselves and our understanding, but bringing great light to this world. How good it is to be part of this beautiful array of light, of love, of harmony, health, peace, and abundance. How beautiful it is to know that we have the power over old thought forms, that we can right now turn on a greater good, accept our truth, be in our power. And just, will you take the hand of the person next to you? And if you're not next to somebody, scoot there. Scoot. Just scoot, scoot, scoot. We're not in this alone, remember, and our job is to make connection, to be the truth. And I want you to feel the power that happens when we hold this light together. It just doesn't double. It magnifies beyond measure. This light. We need each other. That's the truth. So this Christmas time, besides my extra day, I give great thanks for all of you. I give great thanks that we're on this journey together. And without a doubt, I know that we are igniting this world and creating the new norm. Thank you for being part of my Christmas blessing. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.